Hi, I guess welcome to my YouTube channel. Not really sure. This is the first thing. Sorry, this is the first time I'm doing something like this. Um, so I am kind of a Wattpad author, I guess, and I've been writing some stories, and I decided to try and maybe record me reading my stories. Um, yeah, I don't really know what to say. Please excuse me being weird. That's just I'm weird. That's just how it is. Anyway, I wrote a story about my friend. Um Something that actually happened in her life 6 years ago, a little more than 6 years ago, and she feels totally okay about it now in terms of, she's healed and she has totally approved of me writing this story. So I kind of turned her into a hero, I guess, who goes through a lot until she becomes this hero. So this is a story with a happy ending. In case you're worried, I can't speak. So this is a story about a happy ending with a happy ending, but we're gonna go through a lot before we get to the happy ending. So I'm gonna record and post chapter by chapter, and I'm gonna put them in a playlist so that you can go through the playlist. Each chapter is approximately 5-6 minutes long ish, somewhere around that. I've currently published 8 chapters. I'm not sure whether I want to now record all 8 of them and then like publish the rest of them as I to YouTube as I go with Wattpad to like because listening to over 2 hours of recording straight away is probably not going to be the best option. So I decided to like divide it in chapters, but I'll see as I go how it progresses. But first, I'm going to read the description. Then I'm going to get into chapter 1. After a devastating loss, a grieving woman makes a deal with the devil to escape her pain. But as she serves him, she begins to see through his lies and rises to become the weapon he never saw coming. This story is based on a true event in my friend's life, and she allowed me to write about it with a fantasy spin. Here is a message from her. This is a story of a woman who lost everything except her fire. A mother ripped apart by grief, a child saved, a boy gone, a deal struck with the devil himself. But instead of breaking, she burned brighter. Instead of serving hell, she brought it to its knees. This is a story of rebellion, of healing, of rising from despair with blood on your hands, purpose in your veins. This isn't just fantasy. This is what it would look like if I made a deal with the devil. I am Siren of the This this is my story. Midnight Siren. She's also a Twitch streamer, and I will link her Twitch channel link thingy in the video description. So if you want to come meet Siren and me, because I'm I'm always there unless it gets too late for me and I'm going to bed. But she streams in the evenings in terms of like European times. She lives in South Africa, so she's an hour ahead of UK. But I'm gonna say it in UK times because I think most people understand UK times pretty good, regardless of where they're from. So she streams about sometimes 6, sometimes 7 p.m., sometimes even 8 p.m. UK time. But she streams almost every night. Unless she has something going on or whatever, she's not going to be live. But most of the time she's live every single night and she streams for long hours. So if you're from America, you're still gonna get to see her because she's still gonna be live. So, yeah, let's get into chapter 1. Fair warning, this story is pretty, it can be pretty, how do I put this? It's it's heartbreaking, it's sad, but like I said, it has a happy ending. But there, like, trigger warning, there is some um ideation there. It's labeled as close to the edge, which is like the careful way of saying it, but it is there. So if you don't, if that's something that could be a trigger for you, then yeah, maybe click away. um, right. So let's start from the beginning. Chapter 1: The Collapse. Her phone buzzes once, then again. Loreanne picks it up without checking the name, still half dangling her fingers in a mug handle. Hello? Beth's voice is trembling. Is she alive? What? Loreanne freezes mid-step. The mug slips from her hand. It hits the counter but doesn't shatter. She wishes it did. Loreanne, the bridge at the school, it collapsed. Have you talked to her? The air disappears from the room. Loreanne grips the edge of the counter to keep from falling. No, what? What do you mean collapsed? What do you mean collapsed? Her voice rises sharp and shaky. Beth's breath crackles through the speaker. Turn on the news. I'm so sorry. Loreanne doesn't hang up. She drops the phone entirely and then hits the contact for Lily. It rings. 1, 2, 3. Lily picks up. Lore? Everything okay? The bridge collapsed, Lily. The bridge at the school. I don't know if she's okay. I don't know if she's okay. Jesus, Loreanne, breathe. Don't be so dramatic. You didn't even know anything yet. The silence that follows isn't empty. It's. Are you fucking kidding me right now? Loreanne howls. Her throat tears with it. Are you for real? My kid might be dead. You heartless monster. You're not a friend of mine. She doesn't hang up this time either. She throws the phone across the room. And then with shaking hands and chest heaving, she dials Hugh. Picks up instantly. Lore? She's not answering. The bridge. Beth said it fell. And Lily said, I'm dramatic and I can't. Her words crumple under sobs. I'm coming. Please. I'm already on my way. I'm turning around. 8 minutes later, Hugh's car skids into the driveway. He barely pulls in park before Loreanne's at the passenger door, barefoot, coatless, hair wild with wind and tears. She slams the door shut behind her and can't stop shaking. I should have driven her. I should have. God, Hugh, what if she. Don't, he says softly, but his knuckles are white on the wheel. They don't speak again. Car races through every red light, like time itself is chasing them. Sirens in the distance, smoke rising ahead. Loreanne stares out the windshield, her hands in her lap, her phone still buzzing uselessly on the seat between them. Screen lights up. Unknown number. She doesn't answer. She's waiting for one voice. Just one. Her daughter's. The school? Chaos. Flashing lights, smoke, collapsed bridge still groaning under its own weight. Parents screaming names, porters circling like vultures. Hugh parks halfway on the curb. Loreanne throws the door open before the cars even stop moving. She runs. Her legs barely feel like they belong to her anymore. Breath burns. Her heart's in her throat. Every child she sees that isn't Nikki feels like a knife. Then the ambulance. She spots a small shape inside, wrapped in a blanket. Head in her hands, the shake. Ma'am, hold on. A first responder steps in front of her, gently but firmly. She's okay, physically. Got a bruise on her shoulder, but that's all. She's safe. Loreanne barely hears him. She's already pushing past. But the boy, the responder said softly behind her, I'm really sorry. The words stall her for a second. The boy? What boy? Then Nikki looks up, ears streaked, face red, eyes swollen. She sees her mom and everything inside her shatters. Her arms reach out like she's falling again and she's, Mom! Oh, Mommy! Voice cracks, breaks. Roy! Royden! That's all. The rest comes out in screams and sobs, her whole body racked with guilt and grief and fear. And Loreanne knows. Royden, Nikki's best friend, is gone. She just knows. She pulls Nikki into her arms like she'll never let her go again. She holds her baby while the world spins and the bridge still groans in the background. And in that moment, she cries too. Not just for relief, not just for Nikki, for the boy who didn't get to go home. Mother get a call instead of an embrace. And for the deal she doesn't know yet that's already making its way to her. The next few days dissolve like ink in water. Wake, funeral, so many people. Hands touching her arm, voices saying her name. We're so sorry. You're so lucky. He was a hero. Loreanne nods, smiles sometimes, cries when it feels appropriate. None of it touches her. It's like she's behind glass, watching herself go through the motions. Nikki doesn't speak much. She just clings. Loreanne lets her fall asleep on the couch, lets her meals, lets her cry until she's hoarse and raw. Because how can she tell her no? How can you discipline someone who's alive because someone else isn't? Royden's parents are shattered. There's no other word for it. Mother's face is swollen from crying, her stiff like she's been turned to stone from the inside out. His father barely says a word. They don't blame Loreanne or Nikki. They even hug them both. But that almost makes it worse. Because Loreanne wants to be blamed. She wants to be yelled at. She wants someone to point at her and scream, Why your daughter? Why not my son? No one does. So she turns her inward, quietly, completely. She doesn't eat much. She doesn't sleep. When she dreams, uh, when she does, she dreams of hands reaching for her and letting go. The mornings are the worst, because for a split second after waking, she forgets. It all comes crashing down again. Guilt, grief, gratitude, ugliest hell she's ever tasted. One morning, she finds herself in the kitchen just standing there, staring at the fridge. No idea how long she's been there. Memory of why she walked. Then the kettle whistled. She hadn't even realized she turned it on. Everyone says it will get better, that time will help, that healing comes. But all Loreanne feels, growing hole in her chest. Something is unraveling beneath. A thread being pulled loose. Something else pulling on. There you go. That's chapter one. That's chapter one. Um, you liked it? I guess. Uh, it's cliche, but I guess I have to say it. Like and subscribe. It's just. Everyone says it and it's so dumb. You guys all know that you can do that if you want to, and if you don't want to, you don't have to, you know? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, um, I'll link my Wattpad as well. If you have a Wattpad profile, you can go and leave comments and votes. It really helps to drive up the engagement to get my story to out to more people. Same thing as I'm doing here, I guess. Though mostly I started this because there are people in the Siren's community that we really want them to read the story, but people have jobs and lives and other books to read and shows and movies they want to see and games they want to play. It's just this world has kind of gotten too much. And sometimes it's just easier to pop on headphones and listen to a 5 or 6 minute video while you're doing dishes. So Hey there to everyone from Sirens who are here and just listen to the first chapter. We love you and we can't wait to talk to you about this story. We're we're excited to talk about this story and share theories. I mean, me and Siren, we know how this ends, but if anybody has any theories or anything, we will not confirm nor deny anything, but we would like to hear. That's the best part, I think. So yeah, I will now record chapter 2. See you there. Bye.